It's wrong to criticize leaders of the church, even if the criticism is true.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Along with the failure to convince Mormons that the church isn't true through Brigham Young, I have for you a talk given by Brigham Young, 21st of June, 1874, titled The Secret of Happiness, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's available online. It's from the Journal of Discourses. The prophets purposely call it, the church fiction, because there are lots of errors that we disagree with after the fact. Really? Like polygamy? That you're going to be returning one day, then all of a sudden Brigham Young will become the prophet of prophets. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they not only get rid of the history of the church with the first vision and Moroni instead of Nephi and the plates, the Book of Mormon, all that gone, all Joseph Smith gone, Brigham Young. I can see it happening, and reading this talk, I might be right. I'll read portions of it from you, because he makes a lot of claims that are just outright false, and make claims that should have every Mormon going, what? What? First of them is referring to Joseph. Joseph received the knowledge that they were once in possession of the gospel, referring to the Aborigines, as he called them, native indigenous people of America. And from that time he went on, step by step, until he had obtained the plates and the Urim and Thummim, and had power to translate them. Did you catch that? Wherein there are seer stones to translate the plates. Oh, he had those too. Are you sure? Are you sure? Why didn't Brigham Young bring him up? Well, that's why it's fiction, Travis. Yeah, the Urim and Thummim are in our possession. The church has them. They're showing only one of the 3 rocks that are available. So there's more than just a Urim and Thummim. So if we have the Urim and Thummim, then Moroni Nephi didn't take them, but he said he took them. So what are we doing with the Urim and Thummim if it's supposed to be gone? That's one of the conundrums in Mormonism. And then here's another brilliant one. Let's see. Let's see. They were seen by some of my family. My father saw and conversed with them. Then the way opened for a large gathering in the state of Ohio. Parley P. Pratt, Oliver Cowdery, Samuel Peterson, David Whitmer, John Whitmer, and a few others went up there and preached the gospel. In Ohio, where Parley P. Pratt came from, and Sidney Rigdon, why wasn't Sidney listed? Oh, he was doing something else, like the Joseph Smith revision, which the church calls translation. And they came among the members of the society called Campbellites. Anybody know your Sidney Rigdon history? Why was Sidney Rigdon working on a revision of the whole Bible? Formerly members of the Close Communion Baptists, their leader's name being Alexander Campbell, who only translated the New Testament, or revised it. That's why Sidney left. So what's going on here? Why isn't Brigham Young pointing this out? He seems to know all about this event. Why isn't he talking about Sidney Rigdon having a connection with this Alexander Campbell? And here we get to, let's see. My brother Joseph Young, while conversing with me, asked if it would be right for our father to give us a blessing. He said, I feel just as though I want my father to give me a patriarchal blessing. When we reached Kirtland, we asked with Joseph on the subject. He said, certainly. And finally, we appointed a day, and Brother Joseph, the prophet, came to where we met and ordained my father a patriarch. And he was the first man ordained to the office of patriarch in the church. Not Joseph Smith Sr., who the lineal descents are the successors to the patriarch of the church? Because the regular family patriarch, that was already in the church. He's telling us a revisionist history of the church. He's saying that Young Sr. was the first patriarch of the church. Did he get excommunicated so that Joseph Smith Sr. was put in? I mean, my God, the audacity of Brigham Young. What a loser. Dear God. I'm surprised he still kept the Smiths as the descendants for the patriarch of the church until Kimball Heber's grandson, or great-grandson I think it was it grandson or great-grandson, did away with it. Eldridge Smith, was it? Can't remember. That was when I was a little kid. But dear God. And here's a doozy. Let's see. While we were in England, I think, the Lord manifested to me by visions and His Spirit things that I did not then understand. I never opened my mouth to any person concerning them until I returned to Nauvoo. Joseph had never mentioned this. So whatever his revelation was, he was keeping it a secret to himself. Joseph knew nothing of the subject matter, was not practicing it in the church, not even in secret. What could this be? There had never been a thought of it in the church that I knew anything about at that time. But I had this for myself, and I kept it to myself. And when I returned home, and Joseph revealed these things to me, I then understood the reflections that were upon my mind while in England. He just totally unbelievable. But this was not until after that I had told him what I understood. So Brigham Young is now taking credit for this. That it was his revelation, he told Joseph, then Joseph revealed it. But to Brigham, not to the church. See what's going on here? And this was in 1841. The revelation given in 1843. But the doctrine was revealed before this, when I told Joseph what I understood, which was right in front of my house in the street, as he was shaking hands and leaving me. He turned round and looked me in the eyes, and says he, Brother Brigham, are you speaking what you understand? Are you in earnest? Says I speak just as the Spirit manifests to me. Says he, God bless you, the Lord has opened your mind. And he turned and went off. What was that revelation in 1843 that I've been hounding on you guys, both Mormon and ex-Mormon alike? You should know the Doctrine and Covenants sections by the topics that are discussed. Section 132, which replaced the monogamy scriptures of Joseph Smith. Scriptures, plural. Although the revelation was recorded in 1843, it is evident from Brigham Young that the doctrines and principles involved in this revelation had been known. God. We just read from Brigham Young. They were not known since 1831. Brigham Young got revelation in England, not being a leader of the church to get revelation for such things. And yet he says he got it. And then he told Joseph in 1841, and then Joseph finally brought it out in 1843 and said, oh, Brigham, oh, you mighty masterful one. You who have usurped my authority to receive revelation. Yeah. He goes on to talk about how he used to laugh in Joseph's face because he thought Joseph was an idiot. So again, 21st of June, 1874, the secret of happiness. To murder to get gain.